What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another DC Heroes and Villains video. Alright guys, there seems to be a lot of requests happening for team building guides again. So I already put up a team building 101 guides with theory crafting and how to put together proper teams. But now people want me to get a little more specific with hero teams and villain teams. So I will go ahead and do that. But before we get into that, guys, go check out the other videos. Give me a like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. This is the most active DC Heroes and Villains channel currently on YouTube. If you put in the name, I'm like one of the only people that pop up. So with that being said, I am putting in my work like I did for Street Fighter Duel, and you guys are going to be getting some of the best guides. I promise you that. So with my experience and my expertise coming through from the beta onto what it is now, I'm going to show you guys how to build both free-to-play teams, dolphin teams. Dolphins are small spenders, and then whale teams. Okay, those are the big spenders. So depending on how you want to go. Now this account has been around for almost 2 months. I don't have every unit in the game, but I know how every unit plays because I've actually had a chance to test them all. And I can, even if I don't have the unit, I'll still explain. Now keep in mind, there are a few units currently in Global that are not available that I have. So for example, Flash, Raven, I believe Parasite, and Beast Boy are missing from the existing pool. They are in my roster. I will still talk about them because in the future when they come out, even if there are changes, there may be buffs, there may be debuffs, or not debuffs, they may be nerfs to the characters, but I'll still want to bring them up because at the moment, for those people who did play beta, are still learning a lot about the game, and I don't want to not include those players in this session of team building. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to build up a hero team and then a villain team. Now, the first thing to note is that neutral characters or units can play both sides. Okay, they're essentially double spies. So they can, if you click on neutral, you have yourself pretty much the Suicide Squad that can play both sides of the fence. Okay, so I'm going to include them in some of these builds, and I want you guys to keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and talk about them. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the heroes first. We're gonna theory craft with heroes and neutrals included. Okay, and I'm gonna set up with the first free-to-play team to go with. All right, so in the beginning, you're gonna get yourself a lot of 3 stars. All right, and a lot of you guys are gonna focus on factions. Go back and check out my "Is Factions Worth It" video. I think it'll explain a lot on what you should be aiming for versus what you are getting. Okay, so Catwoman is pre-registration gift. She's not bad. You don't want to invest too heavily in her. Okay, you will instantly get Amanda Waller as a neutral. That is your first main hero you want to focus on. She is going to be end game quality. She is better than most 5-star characters, just so you guys are aware. So definitely the moment you get her, instantly put effort on her. Okay, she's going to be one of your main units until end game, and probably for all content, to be quite honest. So she is going to be like the one you want to focus on right away as a 3-star character. Okay, now let's go into the heroes themselves. I'm gonna give you guys an easy build. So let's say Amanda Waller as a neutral hero. Okay, sorry guys, it's taking long because there's a couple things running in the background here that's causing this to have a little bit of issue. Let me go back. I apologize. The game is sometimes still buggy, so when this happens, I just have to go back in and out, and it'll fix itself up here. Okay, so heroes. All right, let's go down. So Amanda Waller, number 1. Just put her on every team. Literally, villain, hero, doesn't matter. She's your number 1. She takes up a slot instantly, okay? Number 2, if you want to run a heavy purple team, the captain here actually isn't that bad for that. She's a niche character, but her passive, if we go to the first one here, at the start of the battle, she converts 1 tile into a purple or blue. But the problem is you have to use GCD allies for them to convert additional ones. So she at least gives you that one-time shot, but she's not that good. So you would ignore her. Some people have been asking about her. I just wanted to bring her up. Catwoman is also very niche. She's pretty decent at the start, but like I mentioned, you don't want to put too much effort into her. Even though she's a purple, Waller does not need purple units to thrive, okay? Your next unit you really want to focus on as a tank is either going to be Cyborg if you get him, or Nubia. Cyborg is a little bit better only because he fits into the Justice League America mold as a faction unit. And if you happen to pull Superman or Wonder Woman or Aquaman or Martian Manhunter and you want to use them, Cyborg gives you an extra bonus there. He's not a very good tank though, okay? Nubia is actually the better of the two tanks. So if you want to just build good units, Nubia is a step ahead of Cyborg. Cyborg will do more damage, but Nubia gives more to your team as a whole, okay? So your call on that one, but one of those two as 3-star should definitely sit on your team. Enchantress 100% will stay on your team for quite some time until you complete your Poison Ivy battle pass, and then Poison Ivy will take her place, right? But for heroes specifically, Enchantress works as a hero, okay? So you're going to go Amanda Waller, neutral, Cyborg. Actually, you know what? I'll probably build this for you guys. Let me just go into Living World here, and I'll build it for you here so you guys can see hero versus villain, okay? So let's just go here. This is, I think this one actually requires a guess, so let's go to this one, Battle 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's build these teams, okay? So this was Teen Titans. I was testing something with Teen Titans to see if anything worked specifically, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Oopsie. So this is my main team. Forget that team for now. Let's go in here. So we're going to go ahead and do what we just talked about, okay? We're going to go heroes. There we go, neutral, okay? Let's go to hero now. Hero. Sorry, guys. One sec here. Heroes. There we go. Okay, so Enchantress we talked about. Put her in. Nubia or Cyborg. It's your call on that one. I'm going to put Cyborg in here for now, right? And then the only good reason to have Nubia, to be honest with you, she's one of the better 3-star blue units and one of the only 3-star blue units. So she does give you an advantage there. There's a lot of red, obviously, you can choose from between like Two-Face, etc. Katana, 100% you're going to put in here for sure as another 3-star. So this is going to be a very free-to-play friendly setup, okay? Right there. And then you're going to, of course, have Batman in here as well, okay? So Batman is someone you want to get rid of almost right away, to be honest with you guys. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but he's my favorite DC hero, but he sucks in this game. He's absolute garbage. So you don't want to invest too much into him. You'll get rid of him. When you do your first summon, you're going to get somebody else, okay? So this right here is going to be your first setup. If you can get Katana, she's going to be sitting there for quite some time, I promise you guys, if you use her correctly. She's an incredible DPS with amazing buffs on herself and kills enemies like it's like a hot knife to butter. It's crazy. So these 4 here are more than good enough to take you pretty far. All you need to do now is add a 5th, and it's up to you again what your 4-star is going to be. You're probably going to stick with Batman for a little bit of time, but then when Batman is removed and you get yourself your brand new 4-star or 5-star, then you guys can replace it. So anybody here like Huntress is incredible in this team, just so you guys are aware. If you do plan to use Catwoman, Huntress and Catwoman have a faction together, so that could work too. Nightwing is actually pretty decent in this team as another blue that you obviously lack completely. Blue Beetle works really well here because he offers the barrier to everybody as well as remove stealth. If you can get Halo from your friendship, you're set for a long time. Halo with Katana actually have a partnership together, and they offer each other barriers, etc., and buff each other. So Katana and Halo, really friendly. So if you can invite 5 friends and they actually play, you get yourself a 5-star. That's actually really good, and that'll be your free-to-play team. Okay, so this is going to be a very simple, free-to-play, easy team to build. So you get yourself your massive buffer, your healer, your tank, your mass DPS, and then if you have Halo in here, you've got yourself your duel right here, plus your faction right here, and Halo is a barrier, damage dealer, and a buffer to Katana, right? So very good unit, and I'll show you guys what Halo does if you haven't seen my video on her. A 1-star, whenever enemies attack an ally with a barrier, they are inflicted with vulnerability, specifically her or Cyborg. When Halo performs a basic attack, Katana and Halo both gain a barrier equal to 5% of her HP, so that's the benefit of having Katana with her. And then her power moves, of course, is a single target, pretty high damage dealing attack, does anti-heal for 5 turns, and does damage over time for 5 turns. So her and Katana doing damage over time, enemies just completely get vanquished. So very good combination together as well too. So you guys can see here, they do have a combo together. Black Lightning sucks, don't use them, but these two are incredible together. So highly suggest those two together. And that'll be your free-to-play hero team, okay? Now we're going to jump into free-to-play Dolphin team. So this one is a little bit for those who spend, and because Flash is not in here, I can't consider him to be my first one, but you have a lot more options once you start getting into the 4-star characters, okay? So you can do things like putting Artemis Grace in with Nubia, who actually work really well together. Now, if you have Artemis, you want to put a lot more red units, so you put Katana back in, you put Halo back in, and you've got yourself a stellar team in this. So you have your tank, right? You have your buffer and cleanser. She actually takes away debuffs. She gives Amazonians extra buffs too, and she gives Amazonians extra buffs. So these two work off each other, and then you're going to get yourself Katana, and you can have Halo for the barrier aspect. Or if you don't want to use Halo, you can go ahead and put yourself a healer like Enchantress. Or if you have Poison Ivy at this point, you add in Poison Ivy, right? Or sorry, this is a healer one. Sorry, I forgot the hero one. So we're not gonna have Poison Ivy. So you put Enchantress in there as your main healer. Now, this team here will take you pretty far as well too. Okay. Other very good units to work with. Let's take these guys away. Is Huntress, if you can get her in there. Put in Blue Beetle. Oh, actually, I don't think Blue Beetle's available to you guys right now, so I can't actually even use him either. Let's go back to the 4 stars here. Martian Manhunter is okay, but if you put Donna Troy as another purple, that feeds off of Amanda Waller, so you have yourself someone who actually does a lot of block. Like you can see here what she does here. Let's go look through it. So she has every time there's a power move, she flips buff to its debuff equivalent. So a Titan ally specifically. So Nightwing does a lot of those, by the way. They'll actually turn buffs into debuffs on the opponent, and also attacks a single target with a pretty heavy single target damage. Removes the taunt on an opponent, and also has an assist attack happen on the random enemy as well too. So you get a pretty good variety of buffs and debuffs from her. And then if you add in Nightwing here as a bonus, you get yourself the faction right there for the Titans. And he also has pretty good passives. At the start, he converts 2 random tiles into blue tiles. If there is a teen Titan ally here, there's a 70% chance one of them will perform an assist attack, so Donna Troy will attack with him. And then his power move is he does a reduction of power gauge, and also in the second hit he does lockdown. So pretty damn good for stopping people from doing supers, especially against bosses. It's a good way to stall supers from happening. So that's not a bad team setup there, because you get the purples, right? And then you just need a healer, and you can toss an Enchantress. Unfortunately, she's the only like decent healer in here, 4-star, so you can do that. Now from a 5-star perspective though, you have a lot more options. Obviously, if you have Superman, you throw in Superman in here, take away Donna Troy, right? There you go, throwing him in there, and then you can put in Halo and Katana. So that would be a really good setup there, and you guys are pretty much set, because Superman really is hard to kill. And at the same time, you can put in Martian Manhunter instead of Katana if you want to have the JLA connection. So something like this with Superman, and then Enchantress in here for a healer. Right, so you have 2 greens, 1 blue, 2 purples, and they feed off of each other. Right, so you get 2 faction bonus there. If you have Superman, you have 2 faction bonus here. So another really good setup there for you. Now, if Beast Boy was around and Raven were around, I'd give you more. Now, obviously for the whales, or if you just get lucky, you can play pretty much the entire Justice League group. Put these guys in. And then you need a healer still, though. So what I would do in this case is I would remove Martian Manhunter and put Superman in here, and you've got yourself your full Justice League. I don't personally have Superman, so unfortunately I can't build that for you guys there. All right? So there's some examples for some teams, for hero teams, specifically with a neutral. Now, if you don't have any of these units, you can go back to your neutrals, and keep in mind, they also qualify, okay? So I'm going to go back here, put neutral. I don't know why I keep showing Harley Quinn. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to just go back here, do everybody, and I'll find you guys the neutrals, okay? So really good neutrals here for this would also be, for example, having the Suicide Squad. Just the entire Suicide Squad with Enchantress is perfect. So Killer Croc, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Deadshot, where are you? In here somewhere. Bear with me, guys. He's around. He's kicking around here somewhere for sure. Why am I losing all these characters? Did you see Deadshot? Cyborg? Ultra Humanite? Katana? I don't know why I'm being limited here. Is there a filter on here? I'm going to clear the filters. See what's happening here, guys. Yeah, for some. Oh, there he is. Deadshot. Okay. So that's 4 right there. All you really need at this point, guys, is whatever you want. Anything fits in this team. Literally anything will fit in this team. So these are all neutral characters that can work as heroes. All you got to do is put, I would say, an AoE damage dealer. So if you have, like, for whales, it'd be like Aquaman. Superman works here as a great tank, because Killer Croc is a good tank, so you don't really need another tank anyways. But you can put Aquaman in there for AoE. You can put Artemis Grace in there for AoE. You can put in, let's see, single target. You can put in Huntress if you want as well. Katana works really good with this team as well too. Halo works really well on this team. Flash is not around. Cersei would destroy in this team. Wonder Woman works well here. So pretty much this is a plug and play team. This works for both heroes and the villains, right? So anytime you guys need that, build these guys up. They're stellar units. All of them will do really well, okay? All right, let's go to villains. I think we've done that. Now, I find the villain teams a lot more fun. I'll be honest with you guys, okay? So start off with the villains, and we'll do the neutral again. So first you're going to have Amanda Waller in there again. Remember, she will always sit in there. You know the Suicide Squad works as well, too, so don't worry about that. Now, let's start off with the free-to-play villains team, okay? Let's go villains. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. Villains. There we go. Okay, starting off with free-to-play. So, the problem with villains in the free-to-play aspect, they're actually really, really crappy at 3 stars, but they thrive at 4 stars. But I still have a couple units here at 3 stars that are fairly good. Okay, so Copperhead. Listen, build this guy up. You're going to need him for raid bosses. His damage over time does 7 turns, which is the highest in the game right now. He has an incredible dodge. He's immune to crits. Really, really good unit. Should not be slept on. Copperhead is important in this game. Don't sleep on him, okay? Grab Spinner and Two-Face are actually pretty good too. So Two-Face you're definitely going to add in there. Now with Two-Face you need a tank. You're going to put in Gorilla Grodd, or Grodd, I keep saying Grodd. Gorilla Grodd, and he's going to do quite a bit for you guys at the 3-star level for reds specifically, because you already have 2 reds. Now to complete your reds, you can add in, let's see here. Who would you get at a 4-star here? I'm just trying to think if there's anybody here at a 4-star level that you would get pretty early on. Not really. So you can throw in Grav here, who will buff you guys. Here, let's show you guys what he does. I've talked about him already in the tier list, but I want to show you guys anyways. So at the start of the turn, he has a 20% chance to grant defense up to the lowest HP ally for 3 turns, and this is each turn, by the way, and 20% attack up for the highest attack for 3 turns. So really, really good buffs at a 20% chance. But as you go up and up, he increases it to 35% chance, and it's a lot higher, obviously, probability to get that. Now, his power move is not bad as well. He does a single target attack twice at 43%, which if you add up is obviously 86, and then every time he hits the opponent, he reduces their power gauge by 10. So he's actually not a bad 3-star unit to focus on because of his buffs and the fact that he reduces power gauge. So he's not bad, but these 4 right here will definitely be the most free to play to start with. And then to remove Grav here, a 4-star unit you can throw in here anytime. I don't know, again, why it's filtering this way. So let me clear this again. Let me go through this again with you here. With some 4 stars, okay? Look at some 4 stars here. So 4 stars, a good 4-star in this team would probably be, let's see. Cheetah would work really, really well here. Ultra Humanite would work really well here as a red, to be honest, actually. He would probably be one of the better ones here. Plus, you get Copperhead in him. So, Ultra Humanite, his passive actually inflicts a debuff. Sorry, each time he is inflicted with a debuff, there's a 40% chance he removes it and applies it to the originator. But his power move is actually what's important. So, every time he does the single target damage, he does the heal the most wounded ally by 60% of his max HP, and then grants immunity and heal over time for that ally as well. So, he's a good off healer to have because you desperately need that in that faction. Now again, if you don't have him, right, Enchantress would be your healer because she works again as both sides. So this would be a decent starting lineup for free to play in the beginning. You have Batman as well, obviously, so Batman can obviously sub in here for like Two-Face or Copperhead, but I do think Copperhead is worth definitely building. And Gorilla Grodd is one that you'll probably stop building after a while, so he can be removed for a better tank. So for example, if you get yourself Penguin, he'd go in there and you take away Enchantress and you put Poison Ivy after your so Poison Ivy actually would sit here after your battle pass is done. So when you get to battle pass 20, you'll get a free copy of her, and Poison Ivy will be your main healer here for quite some time, and an off DPS, and also does great debuffs and the dot. So right there, this is how it's going to look. And if you get Penguin, that's how you want it to look right there. Okay, so that's a really good setup there. Eventually, as you grow, Two-Face will be removed. Everybody gets a free Firefly. This is how it's going to look for a little while for you guys as free to play. And then also as Dolphins, right? You're probably going to get this as Dolphins as well. Now you get the Arkham Most Wanted 3 buff right there. So that's 6%, I believe, or 9% maybe. Let's take a look here real quick. No, that's the 6%. Yeah, it's the 6 because it requires 9 and 12 here. Amanda Waller will always be here. Copperhead can now be removed for another unit. So for Dolphins, Copperhead will probably leave. Firefly will probably leave. And then we're going to look at other units right now for some of you. So there's a lot of options with villains. And this is what makes it so difficult to build a villain team. Cheetah is incredible. Having her there, she has so many good debuffs. Really good damage dealer. Does crit up on herself. Really, really good unit to have up there. Livewire is also a really good unit to have up there if you're looking for a good AoE DPS. Again, you can use in the dead shots, all the neutrals, right? But for Dolphins, realistically, like something like this with, you know, if you get lucky, you pull the Joker, for example. Joker sitting in here with Amanda Waller and Penguin. It's perfect, right? Even better, if you guys can pull this, you can get yourself Lex Luthor and Riddler. You're set. This team will take you so freaking far. This team will actually take you to end game. So this would be like a whale territory team to a dolphin territory team. So this is some of the best units you can have for villains, and they're absolute powerhouses. So a couple other options you guys can have if you remove Riddler, for example, have Cersei in place instead. And why this is important is because Cersei actually flips debuffs to buffs equivalents. You don't want to have someone that can remove that, because you want her to have as many debuffs as possible so she can actually flip them. Plus, having Amanda Waller here and having Lex Luthor for immunity, you actually give her more buffs, which allows her to perform a barrier for your team, and every time there's an extra buff on her, she gives an extra 1% HP barrier on top of what she already provides you, which is at 6% starting, I think. So this team here is a knockout, like a knockout team. Now, you have noticed we have removed Riddler from this team, and that's okay. Riddler is really meant to be for heavy green teams, even though he's one of my favorite units. I run a heavy green team, right? If you look here, the only non-green here is Amanda Waller, and they're absolutely crazy good in this. But this team here, hold on, we unfortunately it was taken out. So that team I just showed you a second ago is going to be probably one of the best teams out there. Now you could also, and this is only for villains only, right? Keep in mind, guys. You could also throw in Deadshot in there if you don't have Lex Luthor, and work Cersei with Deadshot, because she gives red tiles as well too, right? So you could do it like this as well. Here, let me show you real quick here. Amanda Waller. Where's Deadshot? Deadshot. I know he's lower down here now this time. There he is. Put him in there. So that's red, 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 green, purple, and then you can add in one more purple if you want, and have the Penguin in there, and you get yourself a really good tank, right? So now you've got a couple factions going at the same time. There you go. Perfect team right there. Tank, DPS, buffer, off heals, and DPS buffer. Perfect team. So there you guys have it. That's the setup I would go with for any team that you want to build. That's what you want to focus on. This is my team. It's a complete green team with Riddler pretty much controlling the entire board, Beast Boy tanking, Lex Luthor buffing and doing massive AoE, single target DPS, and also providing +1 bonus to all of Amanda Waller's buffs. So it puts her at 7. Once I max her out for her levels, it'll be at 8, which is crazy. 8 turns of those buffs. Amanda Waller for assist attack, buffs, and purple tiles for herself to keep going, and also the fact that she absorbs, she has a heal over time for herself with her power move, plus she absorbs any damage into a power gauge, so she builds faster that way. And then of course Poison Ivy, heals, dots, debuffs, etc. Right? So those are the perfect teams, guys, that you could build. There's way more options than that, but I wanted to give you a few of them there. So that's heroes and villain teams for this video. Alright guys, this is Payne. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope this video helped. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.